Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm going to share the screen in a little bit, but before I do, um, I want to remember what the roots of this channel are about. And I want to remind everybody what the roots of this channel are all about. It's in the name, it's the Transformation Podcast. The reason why this whole podcast started was because of the journey that I've been on essentially since my divorce 2 years ago. And I went from being dead for a decade, and that's not my ex-wife's fault. I went from being dead for a decade to really hitting a bottom, bouncing 3 or 4 times on that bottom, and then finding God and finding the light. And the special thing about Costa Rica and Rythmia, and I'm speaking from the heart here because I'm just free balling, I guess. But what's so special about Rythmia in Costa Rica is you think it's this vacation that you get away, and it is in some ways, but there's a lot of work being done at this place. This is a rehabilitation center essentially, and it doesn't just only have to be for maybe a drug problem. It can be for trauma that has happened in your past, even for somebody that is super successful but still feels like there's something missing. There's You're not maybe complete, and you're maybe wanting to establish that relationship with God or that superpower. You find that superpower inside you, and it gives you that feeling of being complete. um I was a person before going in March or late February. I was a person who never followed through with anything that they said. I was somebody who would make plans, but then would be too tired and cancel the plans. And really, what I was doing is I was running and hiding in a basement. That was who I was slightly. That was a percentage of me for sure. Another percentage of me was this person that thought he was this good guy and like this mercenary. And how could anything happen? How could anything negative happen to me? I do everything right. And we'll get to that in a little bit. That's in my eyes part of an ego death, and that's really what changed me, is because I had thought, I was successful in my career, throughout my 20s, and I was using during that time. And I had thought to myself, I don't have a problem. I'm still functional. I'm still making money. But in reality, when you look inward at your body's a temple, right? And this is something that we talked about in Costa Rica, like on the first day. And they said, close your eyes and envision your body. What's that temple look like? And when I closed my eyes, one of the lights, like, it's kind of, I don't want to simplify it too much, but I'm looking at my temple, and it's got the neon lights above it that it says temple, right? And a couple of the lights are flickering, and the door is off its fucking hinges, and I was just a mess. And when I got there, I didn't think I had too many problems. And I had this expectation when I got there of, I'm going to see things and I'm going to change my life for it. And what I really didn't realize was I wasn't going to see anything. And instead, I was going to meet God. And this goes back to a couple years ago. I initially heard Joe Rogan talking about DMT a little bit. And then I had some interest in it. And then, the Aaron Rodgers documentary came around. Then I really, gathered a lot of interest. And after that, ChatGPT, who essentially is like my therapist sometimes, recommended it to me and recommended Rythmia specifically. What's so special about Rythmia is Rythmia has a succession percentage of 98%. So what that means is 98% or 97%, it's somewhere in that neighborhood, of the guests at Rythmia in Costa Rica, 97, 98% of the guests in Costa Rica report back life-changing results. And I can vouch for that. Let's see, it's July right now. So I am 4 months removed. My life has been completely flipped on its side in so many ways. So many fucking ways. First of all, being sober is crazy. It's been a long time. I was willing to face some demons that I had run from when I was younger. And unfortunately, I utilized other people that had come in my life to numb that pain. And then once those people became obstinate in my life, and I would turn to substances to again numb that pain, run away from that pain. And this is all stuff that I learned in Costa Rica. This was nothing that I was aware of before I had gone to Rythmia. So, after going to Rythmia and you put in all the work, right? It's not just you're drinking this at night and it's this vacation. It's after you have your drinks, you're going to class afterward and you're talking about maybe what you went through or what you're going to go through. People share, and so many people have so many amazing stories. And that's, I think, the most underrated part of this resort is not the ceremonies necessarily, but it's everything else. It's the work that you put in. It's the diet they put you on, this all organic food diet. It's a place that is so spiritual and so magical. And it's not just specifically one religion either. I mean, they welcome all religions. There's a reason to believe in every religion, different reasons. I strongly believe. Essentially what Rythmia gave me was clarity, centeredness, freedom from the chaos of my old life. Like I said, I was unpredictable, cancel plans. I'd have really, rough mornings. I'd sleep till noon sometimes. Every day I wake up at 5 and I work out and, go outside and ground myself. And it's become this habit. And it all sounds wonderful, but one thing that I think a lot of us forget about when we get back to integrating into real life again is some of that bullshit that we were dealing with when we left, and you forget all about it when you're gone. Like you're in this euphoric state. The last thing you're thinking about is the bullshit you have going on at home. So the way to look at those things when you come back is not why me, it's okay, there's my first test. How am I going to pass it? And you have this outlook before obstacles of how am I going to overcome this and kick its ass. And literally that's everything that I have taken from this overall. So kind of what I wanted to share was this Rythmia video that I found on YouTube. Comment over it as we go. I think it gives us maybe a better understanding when I tell these stories to people that haven't gone of maybe what this place looks like, gives you a visual. I'm going to pause throughout and kind of give my commentary on it, but here we go. Let's share the screen here. Sound on. All right, we're going to do, we'll do this. This work? Yep, that'll work. There we go. Okay, we'll make this full. All right. Thank you for sticking with me on this.
Place where you can experience a real miracle.
This is like my first time really watching this video.
Multiple bus drives, and 48 hours of not sleeping, I'm about to arrive at Rythmia, this amazing place where thousands of life-changing transformations happen every year. It's been a really long trip for me, so I'm exhausted and I can barely keep my eyes open, but at the same time...
For anybody that's watching this that has gone to Rythmia, one thing that's nostalgic for me right away when I watched this video is that road, that 2-lane highway to Guanacaste. Just insane.
I wasn't able to fall asleep during the flights because each second that I'm getting closer to the spiritual place, I feel more tension.
Just looking at it sends shivers down my spine.
Because what I'm about to do there might as well change my life once and for all. Hey guys, Greg Gostinger here, the founder of Your Inception. Now, as you can see, I've just arrived at Rythmia, this amazing plant medicine.
So I'll give you a summary of what this gentleman was talking about. Essentially, he's given us a tour of Rythmia. This is his YouTube channel. You can follow along. He's going to go through the courses and go through the nights and then kind of give us a summary at the end. Just figured I'm going to allow us to move forward a little bit on this. Okay, here we go.
These experiences are often called ineffable.
Oh, shoot, but my bad. Let's redo that quick.
Miracles.
There we go.
Can experience, which is basically is located in beautiful Guanacaste,
saltwater
Costa
pool.
Rica. Rythmia is known for
Beach
plant
crocodiles.
medicine ceremonies, but they also offer yoga and breathwork classes, many great workshops, an amazing spa, and
Dr. Jeff
much
McNeil.
more.
The cold plunge and the hot
The
plunge.
core of the center is the Maloka, which is basically a big temple where main activities happen. Close to the
So the Maloka, I wish he would have gone a little bit deeper in the Maloka, because the Maloka is such a special building. It's my favorite building in the whole entire world. It's beautiful. The Maloka is where the ceremonies take place. And the thing about the Maloka is not only is it the ceremonies, but it's where you do your yoga and where you do your breath work. And when you're laying on the ground and you're looking up, you see all these geckos up on the ceiling. And it's just like the most beautiful weather. Even though it's hot, there's like this breeze from the ocean. Our group was fortunate enough to receive a visit from a few birds one morning when we had some windows open, which was like so cool. This entire building, I can still smell it. There's a smell, and there's this wave of energy just looking at it right now that I'm receiving. That's just so special.
temple where main activities happen. Close to the Maloka is their delicious and organic roots restaurant, a beautiful pool, and a small store. The whole resort feels special in many ways. On every step,
The lady in the store, by the way, is
an amazing
wonderful.
Sculpture, beautiful trees and plants, and lots of tropical animals. Villas are luxurious from the outside and inside, and you just feel like being part of this amazing nature.
The staff
in Costa Rica.
keeps these grounds up
Now, while Rythmia
like no
looks
other.
like a
The
typical
maintenance is
vacation resort,
A1.
where they also offer plant medicine ceremonies, it is just the other way around. The core of their activities
Here,
are the
okay,
ceremonies,
so this is what I was
and
talking
that's
about
the
the
primary
work.
reason ceremony why
That's-
people go to this amazing
here we
resort.
go. There it is.
Ceremonies. And
Oh shoot. Okay, press
the
play.
core
There it is. This is the schedule. It's not vacation, I'm telling you. There's free time here and there, but there's work to do. There definitely is work to do, and I have so much respect for this because personally I had no idea it was going to be like this. You know, and that those free time slots that you have, some of them might be for that enema that you get, that saltwater cleanse, or their Swedish massage that they do offer there as well, which is also fantastic. There was kind of a joke, I think it was on the first day, where Dwayne, who was one of the, I guess one of the teachers there, he all the guys especially, he goes, put the water up your butt, you know, to get that enema deep sea cleanse. And I'm glad I did it. I don't want to do it again, but I'm glad I did it. It's good for your health.
of their activities are the ceremonies, and that's the primary reason why people go to this amazing resort.
Okay, so give you guys a little bit of a visual here. We have that clip again. Where was that? A little bit before. There's the dog. There's dogs. All right, let's see. Here it is. There. Okay, so this spot right here is extra special to me. I think it was on the final night, and I think I've told the story before on the podcast, but I sat right at this. Let's go full screen. Sat. Oh, it's paused. Okay. We'll go back. Okay. Can't go full screen. Where I am waving my mouse right over here is I sat here for what felt like 8 hours. And what I learned in this spot right here was patience, gratitude, and sympathy and empathy. And I then understood that those were the three pillars that I'm going to have to live by going forward to live a healthy, happy life. After this discovery, I looked up and I looked to my right and I noticed this image for the first time. And this is five nights into the experience. This, I don't know what it was, and it was dark out, so there was like a sheen coming off of the picture, and it's like a oil based paint, so it kind of has like that transdescent reflection. This was the moment right here at this very moment when I realized that I was never going to be the same again.
Alright, it's been about 2 weeks since I returned back home from Rythmia, so let me tell you what I experienced there and how this experience already changed my life. Now what I'll tell you may shock you, so get ready. First of all, this is a beautiful resort. It's well organized, it looks amazing, it's designed to help you achieve your miracle, right? Now, what is a miracle? For them, the miracle is any kind of an important breakthrough that you get during the week. For example, if I come because of a childhood trauma and then I figure out what caused the trauma and I get rid of it, then this would be considered a miracle. Currently, about 97% of people achieve a miracle in the first week of stay at Rythmia.
Okay, that backs
Obviously,
up my
this
word.
is quite subjective, but trust me guys, if you get a miracle, and you most likely will, you will know it, no doubts about that. Having said it, every member of Rythmia will help you get the miracle, so you're quite limited to what you can and you can't do at the resort, and some things may be confusing. For example, you cannot just leave the place and go to the local city shopping. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You also cannot call a taxi.
We understand those things. What's my miracle? What's my miracle? I think what my miracle is my children. That's my miracle. My miracle also is the love that I have for life now. The love that I have for my friends, and I've become this social butterfly. This podcast has become a big part of my life. I'm going to continue to put content up, and a lot of it is going to start being solo, and I'm just going for it. I'm chasing my dreams. And one thing that I wanted to comment on about chasing dreams, and one thing I really learned from Rythmia, is never in my life have I ever chased my dreams. I've always chased money. That's all I ever chased in my 20s was money. I never chased my dreams. And I had a certain situation going on which required me to what I thought was necessary just to go get money, go make money. But instead, I wasn't chasing happiness and I wasn't chasing freedom. And when I got back from Rythmia, second thing I did was go chase my dreams. I signed up for sports school classes thinking like, I want to work in sports. I love sports. That's my dream, to work in sports. And while, I went through the classes and the classes went well, and, they're continuing to go well, and I've gotten some sports jobs, I've now realized, and I learned this from a friend from Rythmia that actually said this to me. Maybe mixing pleasure and passion isn't exactly what you want to do. Just because it's something that you love doesn't mean maybe you should make it into your work. And I thought a lot about that. And I'm now realizing that maybe is working sports is fun. My job with the Twins, I love it, and if I could continue to do it more and more, I want to. I'm I've told everybody I work with how much I love it there, and I'm always available to work all the time. That's it's great. Um, but I don't know if that's my dream. So I've begun this vintage resale business with a business partner, and we're not really turning a profit at this time. It's a new business. We're trying to get it off the ground and reinvest, but I'm realizing what my aspirations and what my dreams are is freedom. And what more freedom do you have than being your own boss and being your own man? And that comes with work ethic also. It's not like you can wake up at 9:30 in the morning and get to work at 11 and leave at 2. That's not what I mean by freedom. What I mean by freedom, and this is something that somebody that works for a corporation doesn't have, is the ability to make your own schedule and potentially build that asset with all those hours you work more and more and more. And someday, if you don't want to do it anymore, instead of quitting, you can sell the job or you can sell the business. Then you have some money. Now, that comes down to being a good business owner, being organized, tracking inventory, tracking your costs, expenses. Because when you sell a business, it's not like you can just hand the keys over and say, here you go. If you want to get max value on selling your business, obviously organization comes with that, and also time spent. And my intention right now, my camera's all blurry. I wonder why that is. I guess you just have to listen to me and stuff. There we go. That's better. Where was I? The thing about business, I guess, is okay. Time spent. You have to build your baby, and that's kind of what this has become. Is it's become my baby, and I've never been happier in my whole entire life. Honestly, I am the happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life. 6 out of 7 days a week, I wake up with a smile on my face at 5 a.m., ready to kick the whole entire world's ass. And I don't go to bed till 10 or 11 at night because I'm either editing videos, working on different sports stuff, or working on my business. So this more so, I guess, is a vlog for myself, to something for me to look back on. But I also want to include everybody that I had gone to Rythmia with. I hope you watch this all the way through. And I just wanted to acknowledge all of you and tell you how much I appreciate every one of you. And I know we don't talk as much as we once did because life gets crazy and people move on with certain things, but every single one of you are still with me. And I'm looking forward to talking to every one of you at some point here in the next couple months, and call me anytime. I love every one of you. So, anyways, that is today's episode. Like, subscribe, share. I'm going to leave a link in the description. If you have gone to Rythmia at a different time than me, hit up my Instagram and send me a message. Let's get on and talk about it. I'm totally down. The more and more people I can have on, I mean, it would be great. It's like a Rythmia recap channel. I know I mix other things on here. If I get any feedback, I can separate it by playlists. If there's certain topics that some people are uncomfortable with, I don't want to alienate anybody. So I want to thank every one of you, and I'll be talking with you soon. Thank you.